My thesis is the film industry's lack of perspective and authentic representation of gay men has resulted in the perpetuation of stereotypes and a subsequent inaccurate image of the gay man. Over the last 30 years, the film industry has experienced an extreme shift in the perception and depiction of gay men, with the representation in queer cinema over the last 30 years providing an authentic perspective on the queer experience. This progression, however, is often overshadowed by mainstream Hollywood films that use gay men specifically as token characters and intentionally perpetuate stereotypes in a shallow attempt to provide representation. These big budget projects' failure to write fulfilling and nuanced gay male characters is a direct result of a lapse in perspective, as it is understandably challenging for gay people to feel authentic when the role is being played by a straight man and written by straight people. The film Philadelphia is an example of this, with Tom Hanks being a straight man playing a gay role, rendering him unable to give a genuinely authentic performance based on lived experience. Although this process has glaring negative ramifications for male homosexual communities and the film industry as a whole, it also allows a unique opportunity to gain unexpected and insightful perspective on how gay men are perceived by the film industry. Hanks' performance in Philadelphia was met with critical acclaim, with Hanks winning the Academy Award that year. But in 2022, in an interview, Hanks was quoted as saying, "The whole point of Philadelphia was don't be afraid. One of the reasons people weren't afraid of that movie is that I was playing a gay man. Could a straight man do what I did in Philadelphia now? No, and rightly so." This film was at the forefront of a societal shift in the way gay men were shown on screen, with many films from this era attempting to capture the gay experience in a more grounded tone, which, although were well-intentioned, the gay characters were often slightly removed from the complexities of day-to-day life. This film, however, does a good job of removing the character away from any gay stereotypes, doing its best to establish that being gay does not equate to abnormality. So then why is Hanks so certain in saying that he would not take the role again? The grounded approach the filmmakers take with their depiction of the gay community in Philadelphia is earnest, but it is still inevitably through the perspective of a heterosexual lens. Whilst more accurate than the film was preceding it, it's this earnesty that works against the film, with heterosexual audiences accepting that its portrayal of gay men is authentic and genuine. Authenticity requires genuine experience, and with straight writers, straight producers, a straight director, and a straight main cast, that is something that Philadelphia distinctly lacks. Hanks' role often felt devoid of any real personality so as to avoid any typical gay stereotypes, which works well to further the narrative of the film, but doesn't represent gay men as fleshed out, well-rounded individuals. It is a balance that Hollywood really struggled to understand, resulting often in characters that went too far in one direction, that direction often being comedic relief at the expense of sexuality. Perpetuating stereotypes for comedic effect is a trend that tends to target marginalized communities, with these stereotypes developed by heterosexual society playing a key role in homosexual character misrepresentation through both directing and acting. Films that reinforce these stereotypes are directly contributing to the misrepresentation of gay men, with these stereotypes being wrongly interpreted as reality by the film industry and in society. The writers for the film Clueless drenched their gay character Christian in the standard gay cliches, doing so to make it clear to the audience that he is gay, whilst the protagonist Cher remains oblivious to his sexuality. A lack of authentic gay representation has led to straight actors drawing from traditional stereotypes of one-noted eccentric gay men, reinforcing this warped image that a gay man will always dress, sound, and act in a certain way. Clueless suffers from constructing a gay character based on what straight society thinks homosexuality might look like, and whilst it can be harmful, it was not done with bad intent. But it isn't uncommon for homosexuality to be demonized, with some filmmakers making conscious choices to associate homosexuality with evil. Alfred Hitchcock has notoriously used homosexuality as a source of conflict in his filmmaking, with gay men often struggling with their sexuality in the context of the plot. In a time where censorship was prevalent and it was unlikely for a character to simply be labelled as gay, to clear up any ambiguity, Hitchcock relied on using stereotypes such as high voice, female mannerisms, or an inability to hold a gun properly. Hitchcock's Rope uses these stereotypes and sexuality as motivation for jealousy of heterosexuality and subsequent murder, with Hitchcock linking the sociopathic tendencies of the two protagonists, Rupert and Brandon, with their homosexual desires. Although made in the 40s, Rope holds deep relevance in the perpetuation of gay male stereotypes, with it being cited as one of the earliest examples of a film that exacerbates the cliches of gay men having better taste in aesthetic choices and that they look down on those that have comparatively bad taste. Overall, the exploitation of the gay male image continues to occur throughout Hollywood by the hand of individuals that lack the required experience and perspective. The emergence of queer cinema has provided a much-needed voice for the homosexual male community, as they will inevitably continue to be misrepresented by the majority of major film productions. The emergence of gay filmmakers such as Luca Guadagnino in mainstream cinema gives substance to the idea that audiences are beginning to connect with honest and authentic gay male films.